Oh, hello everyone. How you doing? I'm doing well. I'm going to go over the day, and if there's anything interesting to delve into, I'll let you know. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, much like yesterday, I was woken up at around 8:30 by my mom because she needed me to move my car out of the way so she could go to work. So, I turned my car on, I backed out, and then I parked on the side of the house and went out so she could go to work. And I waved goodbye and told her I love her. And then I went back into my room and I went to sleep again. I woke up later around 12, much like yesterday. Weird coincidence. And when I woke up at 12, I was like, what am I going to do today? I wandered into the kitchen and was looking for something to eat. I couldn't think of anything, but I knew I was hungry. And then I thought to myself, I would really be down for some oatmeal right now. But I looked and I looked in every cupboard, every refrigerator, every freezer I could find in the house, in the back room, and I couldn't find it anywhere, which was a shame. So I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I told my sister, who was up along the same time with me, and she said, hey, you can have some of my quick oats. And I was like, sure, that sounds good. So she took her quick oats out of the freezer from the back room, and I got that, poured it in a bowl, mixed it with some brown sugar, and poured some milk into it. And it was very good. I really liked it. I made some coffee to go with it, and while I was eating and drinking the coffee, I remember I was listening to I was listening to a interview being done by I think Zach Hadel and the other guy, I'm forgetting his name right now, the other co-creator of the Smiling Friends. They were talking about their Emmy nominated episode, the final Mr. Frog episode from season 3, and yeah, they were just talking about it with someone who was interviewed with them, and I was listening to that. There was no video recorded; it was just pure audio, which is funny because both of the creators of Smiling Friends basically use their regular voices for their characters. So when they just talk like casually in interviews and things like that, I just picture the characters from the cartoon like being interviewed. So it's pretty funny, even though it is the actual creators. But the fact that they just sound like the cartoons is hilarious to me. And it was really interesting interview. Like they talked about how they were just going to do another Mr. Frog episode where he's a complete like tyrant that just causes chaos on his own whim. But then they thought, well, we kind of already did that the first 2 times, and it'd be kind of boring to do that a third time. What could we do to spice things up to make it more interesting? And then they had the idea of, instead of making him a character that was just chaotic, try to put some drama into him, try to make him more sympathetic, have a little scene where he's talking with his dad instead. They thought that would have been a nice change of pace for the character. So that's what they did. They even got a professional live action actor to be painted literally green and be the actor for Mr. Frog's dad. And apparently they found out that after he was done recording, it took him forever to clean all the green off of him. And his next movie was the Chris Hansen film, Don't Touch That Dial. And so they were making fun about that. They were like, oh my goodness, Chris Hansen's going after the Green Menace. It was very funny. And that was the thing I was listening to. I was eating. Eventually, my mom arrived in the midst of eating the oatmeal, brown sugar oatmeal. And I greeted her. And we uh, when we greeted each other, my sister said, "Oh, I almost forgot something." And then she gave me this. And this right here is a composition pen and gear book, 80 sheets wide ruled. And the reason why I was given this book was because my sister wants me to write my dreams in it. So if I ever have any dreams, will be writing my dreams in this here composition book. And if I want to share, I will share directly with you, the audience, if there are any cool dreams that I remember. It should be very interesting experiment. She said the main reason was because apparently remembering your dreams, like having good dream recall, it builds better dream recall, and it also means that you're able to have better chances at having lucid dreams. So, and I was like, oh, that sounds so fascinating. Let's see if we can do this. So yeah, starting tonight, if I have any dreams, I'll write them down when they're fresh in my head after waking up. Who knows? Maybe I'll even draw some pictures while I'm at it. We'll see. But anyways, after I was given that, my mom was wondering if there was anything to eat, and then I said, "Hey, we have some leftover pancake batter. I want that?" And she was like, "Sure." So she made a big pancake with whipped butter and a syrup, and we had that together, and she split with me. And then my mom said she wanted to continue working on the family video. So after we were done eating, we gathered together and we worked on that family video for like a good hour and 20 minutes, I would say. We got a decent amount done. And then after that, oh, and an important thing to note about the family video, we're supposed to show it this Saturday. So if I don't get that video done by then, that would be very disappointing. We don't like to be very disappointing now, do we? So I'm going to be working on that for sure. With my mom. So yeah, we were working on that. It was getting to be late. My mom decided to make a sandwich with chips for me to bring to work. And I said thank you while I was working on the video. And then I needed to get ready for work. I used the restroom. I put on my work clothes. And I went out to my car. I said goodbye to my mom, told her I love her. I couldn't find my sister, so I just said I love her and hope she would hear. And then I went in my car and I drove off. And in the midst of driving, I suddenly realized, I forgot to mention this. Before I left, my mom said my hair looked a little crazy, so she tried to wet it and then comb it. But yeah, then I need to go, so I left. And in the midst of driving, I remembered, oh no, the sandwich and the chips, I forgot those. What am I going to do? So I called my mom and I told her what I forgot. And she said, don't worry, I got you. I'll bring those to you when I can. So I arrived at work. And when I got out, I punched in. I greeted everyone. I put on my vest. It was sweeps all day. And just was a day of bagging. sweeping produce, greeting one of my coworkers, saying hello, sweeping break room, sweeping the store floor, changing the toilet paper in the men's room because it ran out, and taking orders out for customers, asking for my first break of the day, and then using it to refill my water canteen, and doing some breath work, which was very nice. And then taking out the trash. Oh, and my mom arrived around my first break to drop off my sandwich and my chips, which I was very grateful for. I said thank you and that I love you. And then I put, when I returned from my break, I told the CSR that I would be putting my food up in the fridge, let her know that I was dropped off by my mom. She was like, all right. So I went upstairs, I dropped off the food, then I went down, and when I returned, it was then time to take out all the trashes, and then bring bags up to the front. Around that time, it was time to punch in for lunch. So I did that, went up, grabbed a live cola-flavored mushroom elixir beverage, bought that. One of the co-managers asked me what it was, and I said it's a mushroom beverage, medicinal mushroom soda, and they thought that was weird, so it was like interesting. I went upstairs and I ate my sandwich with the chips, with the cola, and while I was doing that, I was continuing to watch or listen to the Simeon Jimmy video where he's talking about the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. It was pretty interesting. And then when I was done eating that, I put my things away. I washed the container I used, soap and water, closed it, put it in the fridge, the break room fridge, and put the glass Alive container in the glass recycling. Went downstairs, punched back in, and I continued my closing duties where I would alternate between bagging, filling check stands, and a lot of the bags were already filled by one of my coworkers, which I was very grateful for. Thank you so much. But yeah, I fill out the rest of the bags. I also took the paper bag containers in the back so they could be put in the baler room, and then I just did 3 different rounds of go backs as quickly as I possibly could, knocked them out real good, like finished, very nice. And so there was some trash that was out in the back shipping receiving area that still hadn't been thrown out, so I threw that out, threw it in the trash. Then I was done with that. I returned back to the front, and I wiped down all of the check stands, alternating between bagging. There was this fun surprise. It was a baby kitten with like black hair with white spots around the cat's face with green eyes, and it was like a baby kitten. So his head was like this big, and it was super cute. He was super cute. His name was I think his name was Tuck the cat, and it was one of the cutest cats I've ever seen in my whole life. I even asked if it'd be all right if I could kiss the cat on the forehead by the owner, and they said sure, go ahead. So I did, because I love cats. They're amazing. And then my co-closer, he brought the carts and signs in, which once again I am very grateful for. Thank you so much, very much appreciate it. And then I finished wiping the rest of the check stands down. I cleared a lot. I closed the produce blinds. I swept the produce area. Of course, throughout the day, I made sure to punch in all my sweeps, and then I wiped down check stand 4 as my final duty. I got a call from one of the closing co-manager for that night, asking how I was doing. I said, just finishing up. They said, you have 2 minutes, and then you got to punch out. I was like, all right. So I wiped the check stand as quickly as I could within 2 minutes. Of course, I made sure to throw all the trash out and all that before that call. And then I punched out upstairs. I grabbed my container and my notebook that I don't really write in, even though I keep on bringing in, thinking I will, but I don't. Because I have my phone and I just watch stuff on my phone instead, But then I stumbled upon my co-manager, the closing co-manager, and we're talking, and then we went out, and I said goodnight, and then I went in my car. Oh, I got home safe, of course. I went in my car. I turned it on, and I drove home. And when I arrived home, I finished listening to the Simmy and Jimmy video. Oh my goodness. Actually, there is a bit of a mix-up. Early in the day, I was listening to the new Digital Foundry video, and I listened to it during my lunch break. And then on my trip back home, I listened to the Simmy and Jimmy video. So there you go, the little mix-up there. Sorry about that. Digital Foundry video was interesting because apparently there's an attempt to put Crimson Desert on Switch 2, even though the game barely runs and looks, like anything on the Xbox Series S. So the fact that there's going to be an attempt to get the game to run on the Switch 2 will be very interesting. The game on Steam Deck, apparently it's Steam Deck verified, but the actual game itself runs between 10 to 15 frames per second on Steam Deck during combat, so I don't really know what they're thinking, or how they're even going to manage to pull that off. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, but anyways, jumping ahead, when I arrived, I was listening to the Simmy and Jimmy video, and I was feeling hungry, and so I remember drinking the pineapple juice. I also remember, there was some rice in a container, so I got the rice, and then my sister I greeted, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Our microwave in the kitchen's not at its best, and she mentioned that there's a microwave in the back room. So like, oh, I'll use that instead. So I did that, and it worked perfectly fine. And then when I brought in the room, in the kitchen, I poured some liquid seasoning that I found that I didn't even know we had on it, and I mixed around, and it tasted pretty good. I really liked it. And and I had I had 2 scoops of the cherry Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and that was very good. And what else did I have? Oh, and 2 cups of the lemonade, homemade lemonade. So all that was really good. And then I decided to get ready for bed, so I told my sister what I was going to do. She's like, all right. So I took my vitamins, I brushed my teeth, and then I arrived here where I am recording my latest update video. So that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. was a good day. What can I say? I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel, and then I'm going to record another Dune session. Got to keep that streak going, you know, and publish that. And that's going to be my day. So I'm going to go to bed after that. See you in the next video, and take care.